a bunch of sorry asses right now. If the New York Knicks lose this series, heads need to roll. Get your damn acts together and start winning these damn games. You're inventing new ways to lose. I'm calling names. Mike Brown, Leon Rose, you don't talk to the media. We don't know what the hell you doing day to day. What the hell have you done? This was the Knicks' opportunity, and they're blowing it. You better win game 4.
So Stephen A. Smith just unleashed absolute fury on the Knicks and is about to tear into Kendrick Perkins over geography and credibility. This is peak Stephen A. Passionate, personal, and completely unfiltered about his beloved Knicks blowing their championship window. Let's break this down.
You think you in a position to tell New York Knicks fans how to act, Mr. Beaumont, Texas? Who the hell do you think you are, Big Perk? You ain't getting it, and I don't care that your man Russ is texting you. I was looking for you, and I couldn't find you. I needed you live, damn it, but you were too busy because you got so many jobs. You're all over the damn place. I couldn't find you because I'd have gave you that same damn energy live and in person. Listen.
The Texas versus New York angle is brilliant here. Geographic credibility matters in sports media. You can't lecture a fan base about their emotional response when you've never lived that disappointment. Perkins avoiding live confrontation while criticizing from afar makes this personal, not just professional.
Coming from Texas, talking about how New York Knicks fans supposed to act. Who are you? You don't get to do that, Big Perk. You from Texas. This is New York City, baby. You from Texas.
Now,
it don't work like that. We ain't flowing like that. Period.
Perk's been on some winning teams now. I think he's qualified to talk about what it takes to win.
He's qualified, not New York, though. No shade, because he ruined New York. He contributed to making New Yorkers unhappy when he was beating their behind when he was playing against them. He didn't care about us then. Don't act like you care about us now.
This geographic argument is actually rock solid. New York basketball culture is built on desperation and urgency. They haven't won since 1973. Texas fans have seen multiple championships across sports. Perkins spent his career crushing New York's dreams, so lecturing them now about patience feels tone deaf.
The fact is, we got a guy in Mikal Bridges, 9 scoreless minutes in the second half over the last 2 games. They gave up 6 first-round picks for this brother, 4 unprotected, swaps, another 2. This is what the situation is. We're looking at the New York Knicks because we see Boston is still here. We see the Detroit Pistons coming. We see Orlando and Atlanta coming. We see Toronto being relevant. We see Cleveland being relevant, even though they lost and they're in the series now. We see all of this happening. And the New York Knicks that were in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals a couple of years ago. Game 6 of the conference finals, 2 games away from the NBA finals last year. They changed their coach. You understand? You already had gotten Mikal Bridges the summer before. You know you could have had Giannis if you didn't give up all of those assets. So we're looking at the New York Knicks and we're asking, how are you going to get better?
The Bridges trade criticism is completely valid. 6 first-round picks for a role player when they could have kept flexibility for a true superstar like Giannis is organizational malpractice. Meanwhile, Boston, Miami, and Orlando are all building smartly while the Knicks mortgage their future.
And the reason why Jalen Brunson is getting some heat, and it's the only reason I think he deserves some heat, is because, no, he was not in the negotiating room. No, he was not on the phone with the Nets. Yeah, he wanted his boy and all of that stuff. 5 years, $270 million. He was in position to sign. He signs a year earlier, saving the Knicks $114 million. Go ahead and get Mikal Bridges. Give him his $150 million. We don't care about that. That's cool. It's the fact, Big Perk, that you gave up all of those first-round assets. Do you know what the New York Knicks could do if they had some of those assets? And if you're Jalen Brunson, the face of the franchise, you don't let them do. You say to them, yo, don't give up that much. Don't do that now. That's all anybody is saying. That's why we're looking at the Knicks. That's why we got trepidation.
This point about Brunson's responsibility is spot on. Franchise players have influence beyond the court. Look at LeBron's input on trades or Duncan convincing San Antonio to be patient. Brunson saving the team money while they overpaid for his friend created this asset-poor situation.
I didn't have no problem with Bridges being benched. What's the problem? I didn't have no problem with him sitting down. I completely agree with you. The fact of the matter is, I'm proud of Mike Brown for putting in McBride and Jordan Clarkson and making sure that they played more minutes than Bridges because they're producing. What I am saying simultaneously is this. Yo, Mikal Bridges, what's up, bro? They gave up all of these assets for you. You just gonna sit idly by and McBride is a plus 29 when when they on the court together and you a minus 26? Damn, that's a 56-point difference with McBride on the court in favor of Mikal Bridges. That's not something to be alarmed about when 4 first-round unprotected picks was given up for you. I'm not trying to sit up there and make life hard for Mikal Bridges. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm rooting for the brother. You understand? I don't want to upset Josh Hart. I got love for Josh Hart. You understand?
A 56-point plus-minus swing is catastrophic for a max player. For context, that's worse than most bench players produce. The balanced approach here is perfect, supporting Thibodeau's benching while demanding accountability from a player who cost 6 first-round picks.
The Lakers gave up a first-round pick for Luka Doncic. The Phoenix Suns, you understand, the Houston Rockets gave up a bunch of second-round picks for Kevin Durant. I mean, my God, you got KD, you got Luka, and half of those assets wasn't given up for this. And the Knicks did this for Mikal Bridges. We can't sit idly by and engage in amnesia because the playoffs are here, even though we getting it from McBride and we getting it from others. And OG, thank you very much for doing what you're doing, and Karl Anthony Towns and others. The fact is we got to look at Mikal Bridges and the New York Knicks and say, yo, what's up? That's unacceptable. We need more, bro. We need more, period.
These trade comparisons expose how badly the Knicks got fleeced. The Lakers gave up less for Russell Westbrook than the Knicks gave up for Bridges. Phoenix traded fewer assets for Kevin Durant, a Hall of Famer, than New York did for a role player.
That's all I've been asking for, somebody to echo what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to say, Big Perk. That's all. That's all. Thank you for saying it. That's my point. This is a different level. You got to show up. Can you handle New York or can you not?
The New York pressure test is real. Media scrutiny, fan expectations, and spotlight intensity crush players who aren't mentally built for it. Bridges looked comfortable in Brooklyn's low-pressure environment, but appears overwhelmed by Garden expectations and championship urgency.
They should have never brought Paul George in. You didn't need him. Paul George,
Thank you.
One of the best people I know. I wish he had stayed in Los Angeles and signed his 3-year deal. I can't knock him for the 4 years, $212 million that he signed for. Good dude, damn good player, all-star caliber player when healthy, no doubt about it. One of the best people I know. But you didn't need him if you were Philly, which gets us to Daryl Morey. I think the time has come for him. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be an executive in this league or whatever, but he ain't built for Philly.
The Paul George signing never made sense strategically. Philadelphia already had scoring in Embiid and Maxey. They needed defense, rebounding, and depth. Spending max money on an aging, injury-prone wing when your championship window is closing shows poor resource allocation.
Too analytical. Philly don't give a damn about that. That's a blue-collar city. They don't care about MIT. They don't care about data analytics. They don't want somebody there that's going to tell you things are better than you think because the numbers say that. This is Philadelphia. They could give 2 frog fat behinds about that. They don't care, okay? They care about that. That's blue-collar city. This is Philadelphia. You talk to somebody that worked there for 17 years and was a columnist for the last 7 years of my career there. I know Philadelphia. That's second home to me. I'm telling you, I ain't asking you. They don't give a damn about that. And they need a leader that is about basketball, that when he speaks with authority.
This Philadelphia culture read is absolutely accurate. 17 years covering that city gives real credibility here. Philly fans respect toughness and authenticity over spreadsheets. They want executives who can look them in the eye and explain decisions with passion, not algorithms.
Months ago, the former 4-time champion executive that worked with me and Big Perk the last couple of years doing NBA Countdown, named Bob Myers, all right, was elevated within the Sixers organization. Let's stop playing damn games. Philadelphia needs that man running that damn basketball franchise. Daryl Morey needs to go someplace else, and where that analytics stuff is going to be sold, and it's all right, because they ain't buying it in Philly.
Bob Myers won 4 championships in 7 years with Golden State. That's the resume Philadelphia needs. He understands star management, championship pressure, and making tough decisions. Myers built dynasties while Morey has collected regular season wins and playoff disappointments.
But the point is, the only reason he in Philly was because Daryl Morey was trying to save his own ass, because he knew he needed to do something, because he was getting some heat because of the way the Sixers were looking. That's all. He did it to save himself. I'm sorry, Daryl Morey. I got respect for you and love for you, but damn it, it's the truth. He's not the right man for Philly. He could be an executive other places, but that data analytics and MIT stuff, that ain't flying in Philly. They don't care. And the bottom line is, he did the Paul George thing because of himself, not because it was better for the Philadelphia 76ers. And now it's coming back to haunt them, because that's $212 million you could have utilized elsewhere, and Paul George could have stayed in LA.
This self-preservation criticism hits hard because it's true. Executive job security often drives bad decisions. Look at trading future assets for present wins to save your position. The Paul George signing screams desperation move to buy time rather than optimal team construction.